Ah, we are moving on. We are all the way up to the roof now. We have clear coat chipping away. Now, I think this was repainted at one point. It's just clear coat going away. I'm gonna sand it to make it all nice and smooth. We'll hit it with a plug-in sander first, and then by hand to finish. I gotta remove this antenna piece, and then we're gonna sand all this out, because you're in for a treat. You're gonna have a time lapse of this bad boy getting wrapped. Should be pretty awesome. Here we go. All right. Get this mask. Sanding. No. Well, I got the real rough stuff knocked down on this side in that time lapse, and it did take quite a bit of time to get through. I'm at the point now where I'm going to use some 600 to just soften it down, and there's a couple little specks that I'm going to hit, and I also want to prep the other side. The other side didn't really have a lot of failing clear coat, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and wipe it down and make sure it's all flat and I don't have any pinholes or anything. And we have to remove this here. Underneath, the headliner's already out, so let's jump to pulling this out. And I know I'm going to have to sand right here around this because you can see where the paint separated there. So we're not going to be using an antenna whenever we go back, but we need to remove this now. So inside, we are in the back seat, and right here is where the antenna connects up. Up on top, I believe I can unspin the ring to take the ring off, and then this will just slide right out. I wanted you to see what it was inside without the headliner in. It actually looks like this never came off. There's the original color. Original color was full white. This top was painted. That is back down to the original white. We're gonna hit this, and this side over here I'm gonna hit and clean real quick, as I suspected. We got some clear coat bubbles over here. We're gonna have to hit this side with the 320 and then everything with the 600. we have this prepped, so it needs to be cleaned and gotten finalized for the vinyl wrap guy. But you guys are going to see it through the power of editing. So all of a sudden, this will be clean. I'll probably be clean too, and another set of clothes, and it'll be tomorrow.
Emotional damage.
When people ask, what is one of my favorite things about a race car? It's kind of doing stuff like this. Again, the factory BMW module decided to not work anymore. So this is basically a manual way of making your own stuff. So you'll have parking lights, headlights, high beams, flashers, all the good stuff. I have it all set up down here now, and we have tested it, and it all works. We only have one more thing to work out, and that is the brakes. I do have to figure out the brake switch to get that to work over here, but we have our switch panel in, and when we give it power, it powers up. If we hit this little bad boy here, you hear the fan turning on, and we got our marker light now, so we know when the fan is on. It actually sounds way more healthy. We have our parking lights, which also illuminate all our stuff inside. We have our headlights. We have our high beams. We have our left blinker, as you can hear it clicking down there, and see it flashing out there. We have our right blinker, and then if we put them both on, we've got our emergencies. So this all works now. I have the key in the ignition. Let me pull that out of there. So, big steps. Kill that. Power off to the vehicle. And we are good.
So where are we at now? Well, after fully rewiring the lights, I've returned back to this back passenger brake light not working again. But I think I got a fix for this. In the meantime, I think I'm just going to black the light out. Probably black the light out over here, because we will have to probably replace these in the long run. But I have a solution for brake lights. Being that I will go ahead and keep the turn signal, I'm going to superimpose this into the bumper. Maybe cut me a little slit here and put this light along the bumper edge, which will give me brake lights. I've been using one of these on my Jeep for quite a while now, and it is actually pretty bright. And that should suffice as a brake light, considering back in the old day with lowriders, you had little tiny baby lights that they would cut into the bumper, or little tiny teardrop lights that we would put on old BWs. As long as we have marker lights on the brake or on the rear, which I also have a third brake light in the middle of the window, I don't foresee any problems. So that's what we're going to do now. to do now is do a quick test. Let's take a look at the lights. So dark blue is ground. So I'm going to take my cool little dandy testy light here. We're going to get this attached up, and I'm going to use it to inject my power. So we'll go ahead and attach that to power. I'm going to clip ground on with this ground clip here. Alright. Test light. So now I've got my test light here, and I can inject 12 volts or ground with my test light. So we have the ground connected in. Actually, you know what? My ground does not connect very well to that, so I have a ground probe on this test light. I'm going to hook ground to that. So at least I know I've got my ground connected. Alright, so now we've got the other wires here, which will have turn signals, running lamp. So it looks like running lamp is going to be white. So let's grab white. Inject 12 volts onto white here. So there's the running light. Alright, so that one's good. Let's go ahead and inject 12 to yellow. Oh, it looks like that is one of the turn signals. Let's see, what is green? It's the other turn signal. And then we got red, which is probably going to be brakes. Nope. Red is reverse. So if they're both getting turn signal. Well, we have that installed. All the lights are working. And we got the cool light bar now on the back. Here we haven't labeled the panel yet, but there's the brights and the blinker. So now the brights are on too, and we got the blinker going. I have to get some resistors for the rear one because this one here will do blinker as well along the bottom, but I have to get some resistors. So back inside. Turn the blinker off. I can turn this blinker on, and now it's on this side. And that's it.